and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and this video is going to be a little bit different for me. It is not a paper crafting video. I will be creating 4 coasters using a technique called acrylic paint pouring. And I learned about this just from other YouTubers, artists, true artists, who have fantastic video tutorials online. And I was motivated to do this because I have a bunch of these acrylic paints that I am struggling to use up. And so if you happen to have acrylic paints, maybe from gel printing, that's why I have them, maybe you are interested in this video because it's just another way to use up your paints. And a little paint goes a long way. So you can see I've just, put a couple dollops of paint out, but what I'm mixing it with is a product called Flowtrol and some water. The white fluid there, that's Flowtrol, and I just have plain distilled water that I'm adding to it to thin it down. Now, Flowtrol, I never heard of this before, but basically it's a paint additive that extends the working time of your paint and is helps it so that when you're painting with a brush, your brush strokes kind of disappear. And it's a product that you can find at the hardware store. I got mine on Amazon, but it's really used for house painting. So that when, painters or house owners go to paint their wall, for example, they add a little bit of this Flowtrol to their house paint, and it just eliminates any brush strokes and it gives them a smoother finish. And some genius artist decided that this would be perfect. It would be the perfect additive for this technique. What I'm working on is 4x4-inch ceramic coasters, which I also got off of Amazon. And these coasters, they're nice, they're sturdy, and they're maybe about, I didn't measure, maybe about 1/4 inch thick. So nice, thick, heavy, because it's ceramic. But it's unfinished ceramic, so it doesn't have like that glossy, it's not a tile. So certainly you can actually go to the hardware store and just get tiles and do the same thing, and that might even be cheaper. But the reason why I got these is because they came with I think 2 holders, 2 stands to hold them, and cork pad so that I can attach that at the bottom in order to finish this off so that it doesn't scrape whatever tabletop surface you put them on. And what I'm doing here is a technique called swiping. So I've laid down my colors, I've just poured them in a diagonal line right on top of each other, and with my palette knife I've added a little bit of white, and I am just grazing the surface of my paint, and that introduces all of these beautiful cells, as they call them, all of those bubbles that you kind of see. That is created through, from my understanding, the reaction of the Flowtrol with this paint. It just helps to create that cellular formation. And what I'm going to do is just blow on this to move some of that paint around. Now, I found that I was a little bit conservative with my paint. I didn't use enough. Well, I used plenty, I feel, but I think if I used more, then there would actually be more excess paint to move around, to blow around. And what I realized though is I think because my ceramic tile is not finished, it doesn't have like that glossy paint finish, it may be a little bit porous, so it actually might be kind of absorbing some of the water content that's in my paints. But and so that would also, that's another reason to use a little bit more paint. So when I do the second one, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more generous with my paint, but at the same time I also don't want to be wasteful with it. This is why I have a hard time using it up, because I'm so sparing with it, which I feel I need to kind of break out of that mindset, especially for this this technique, because it really can benefit from being more generous with the amount of paint. Now, with my gold, I did not put Flowtrol in the gold. I just watered it down a little bit with distilled water. And the reason for that is because I read Flowtrol can dull that shiny metallic finish of the gold. So that's why I didn't do it. But I think later when I try this, I might try adding a little bit of Flowtrol to it just to or maybe not watering it down as much. I'm not sure, because I feel like on some of these tiles I lose that gold. But basically what I did was just, again, layered my colors right on top of each other, and then put some white surrounding, my color, and I'm going to use my palette knife to just gently pull that white across the top of my colors, and just swipe across there. And you can see I've definitely got more paint on this one, and you can already see some of those cells come through. But I do take a butane torch to this, and I torch the surface. And what that does is it will actually pop any air bubbles, and that also helps to to produce those cells, because sometimes there's air bubbles that are trapping color underneath them. So when you torch it lightly, you burst those air bubbles, and that can expose some beautiful color underneath. So that was me doing a quick torching, and you can see all these gorgeous cells. And what I'm going to do is I'm just blowing the paint so that I can move some of that paint around, play with the composition a little bit. And I think that's why having more paint on the surface is going to be a little bit more fun, because then you can actually manipulate it a little bit more. You can blow, you can tilt to kind of stretch those cells and make them larger. So this is literally the very first time I've done this, and this is the set of 4. So I did 2 on camera and 2 more off camera. And it's just so much fun. And I know that true artists, when they do this, they've got a lot more thought and technique behind this. I'm just playing, but you can see like how fantastic the result is. And for a non-artist like me, I would never be able to achieve this with brushstrokes. Like, I wouldn't have the foggiest idea how to create this by just painting it with brushstrokes, and I would never know how to blend these colors. But just by using 2 different shades of blue, I get all this depth of color essentially for free. And adding that touch of gold, I even have some greenish hues in there. I've got some of that metallic gold coming through. It's just so so fun and so easy for a non-artist like myself to create something that is it just looks like it's a lot harder to do than it really is. And so I definitely know that there's a lot of room for improvement. I don't love every aspect of each of these 4, but on the whole, I do think that not only is it a lot of fun to do, but as a gift to give, I think it's kind of impressive. I don't think my friends and family would think that I could make something like this. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's something a little bit different. I will definitely be doing more of this. Whether or not I add it here to my channel, I'm not 100% sure of, but if you want to see me do more pouring projects, then let me know in the comments, and that might persuade me one way or the other. But I wanted to share it because if you are like me and you have acrylic paint lying around that you're finding it's hard to use up, I think this is a really fun way to use it, and a fantastic way to create handmade coasters to give as gifts. Thank you again for joining me for this slightly different from my paper crafting videos, but I hope that you enjoyed it, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!